Imagine this: missiles streaking through the night sky, sirens wailing over Tel Aviv, and radar screens lighting up across the Middle East in just a few hours. The world stood on the edge of a new war, not one fought in secret anymore, but in the open, between two bitter rivals whose feud has burned for decades, Iran and Israel. But how did it all come to this? To understand the chaos of today, we must travel back nearly a century, to the moment when an unlikely friendship between these two nations was born. It all began in 1948. The world watched as a new nation, Israel, emerged in the Middle East. The event sent shockwaves across the Arab world. Most of the region erupted in anger, refusing to accept this new Jewish state. But there was one surprising exception: Iran, then ruled by the Pahlavi dynasty. How could a Shia Muslim country side with Israel when nearly every Arab nation opposed it? The answer lay not in religion, but in politics and to men's ambition to shape the future of the Middle East. Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran, was a proud nationalist and a staunch ally of the West. His vision was to turn Iran into a modern Persian superpower, a bridge between East and West. Meanwhile, Israel was struggling to survive, surrounded by hostile neighbors. Both nations, isolated and threatened by the same Arab front, saw opportunity in each other. What began as a quiet handshake soon became a secret partnership. Before we go deeper into this web of alliances and betrayals, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss our cinematic deep dives into history's most explosive moments. Their cooperation rested on three pillars: oil, intelligence, and military power. Iran's vast oil reserves became Israel's lifeline. When Arab nations imposed an embargo, Iranian oil flowed quietly through a new pipeline, the Trans-Israel Pipeline, stretching from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean, fueling both Israel and Europe. Behind the scenes, another bond was forming. In the 1960s, Mossad and Iran's intelligence agency, SAVAK, began working hand in hand. Israel provided training, surveillance techniques, and technology. In return, Iran shared regional intelligence and learned how to suppress internal uprisings with brutal efficiency. Israel also became a secret supplier of advanced weapons and military equipment to Iran. Yet, the alliance remained unofficial. There were no embassies, no public recognition. Diplomats met through trade offices and third-party nations, while Israeli officials operated quietly in Tehran, far from the public eye. What tied it all together was a single, powerful ally: the United States. Washington's grand strategy in the Cold War relied on an unspoken triangle: Iran, Israel, and Turkey. Together, they formed a shield against Soviet expansion in the region. Iran, with its pro-Western government and anti-communist stance, became America's anchor in the Persian Gulf. Turkey guarded the northern flank as a NATO member, while Israel acted as the forward outpost in the Mediterranean. American strategists even had a name for it: the Iran-Israel-Turkey Triangle. It was the perfect balance of power, until it all fell apart. The year was 1979. As the world watched, a revolution erupted in Iran. Ayatollah Khomeini returned from exile, and within days, the Shah, Washington's strongest ally, was gone. Iran's monarchy collapsed, and a theocratic regime rose from the ashes. Overnight, Iran's foreign policy was rewritten. The new government declared Israel an illegitimate occupying state, the enemy of Islam. The Israeli embassy in Tehran was closed, its flag torn down and replaced with that of Palestine. What was once a covert friendship turned into open hostility. But this wasn't just about politics anymore. It became personal, ideological, and deeply religious. The new Iranian regime made the Palestinian cause its sacred duty. Tehran began funding and arming groups across the region to oppose Israel's existence. Out of this strategy, one name would soon dominate headlines. Born from the chaos of Lebanon's civil war, Hezbollah became Iran's strongest proxy, a militia that grew into a powerful military and political force, carrying Iran's influence all the way to Israel's doorstep. In 1982, when Israel invaded Lebanon to eliminate northern threats, Iran saw an opportunity. The Revolutionary Guards sent military advisors, trained Shah fighters, and helped forge Hezbollah into a disciplined, deadly force. Over time, Hezbollah became Iran's sword, orchestrating attacks, bombings, and hostage operations against Israeli targets. Iran denied direct involvement, but the fingerprints were clear. The tensions simmered for years, occasionally exploding into brief but fierce confrontations. The 2006 Israel-Hezbollah war exposed how deeply Iran's reach had grown. Israel bombed hundreds of targets in Lebanon, aiming to crush Hezbollah and limit Tehran's influence. Yet, even under the rubble, Iran's networks survived, spreading across Syria, Iraq, and Yemen. Syria soon became a vital link in this growing chain. The Assad regime aligned closely with Tehran, offering a corridor for weapons and troops. From there, Iran's influence stretched from the Persian Gulf to the shores of the Mediterranean, a reach that terrified Israel. What followed was an invisible war, fought through airstrikes, espionage, and silence. Both nations avoided direct confrontation, but neither backed down. In 2002, Iran's secret nuclear program came to light. Underground enrichment facilities, hidden laboratories, all confirmed by Western intelligence. Israel saw it as an existential threat. To stop it, Tel Aviv launched covert strikes, not with tanks, but with code. The Stuxnet cyberattack crippled Iran's centrifuges, setting back its nuclear progress by years. Soon after, several Iranian nuclear scientists were assassinated in shadowy operations widely attributed to Mossad. Car bombs, silent raids, precision kills, messages written in secrecy. Iran vowed revenge, but its counterattacks rarely reached their mark. Then came 2011, the Syrian civil war. Iran backed Assad with everything it had: Revolutionary Guards, Shia militias, and Hezbollah fighters. Israel watched as Iranian forces crept closer to its northern borders, forming a new ring of fire. In response, the Israeli Air Force unleashed hundreds of strikes on Iranian targets across Syria: weapons depots, command centers, and military convoys. Israel's message was simple: stay out or pay the price. By the 2020s, this shadow war had spread across every corner of the Middle East, from Lebanon's hills to Iraq's deserts, from the Red Sea to the Golan Heights. Iran and Israel battled indirectly through proxies, hackers, and drones. But then, something changed. In 2021, rockets rained down on Israel from Gaza, launched by groups backed by Iran. Israel retaliated with air raids, and the flames of confrontation grew higher. The real turning point came in October 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel, triggering a devastating response. Though Iran denied direct involvement, it mobilized its regional allies: Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and militias in Iraq. For Israel, this was no longer a network of proxies. It was a regional war machine, controlled by Tehran. In April 2024, the unthinkable happened. For the first time, Iran and Israel attacked each other directly. Missiles and drones launched from Iranian territory flew toward Israel, while Israeli fighter jets struck deep inside Iran, targeting nuclear facilities and Revolutionary Guard bases. Explosions lit up the night sky over Natanz, Fordo, and Isfahan. Senior Iranian military officials were killed. Tehran responded with Operation True Promise 3, firing over 150 ballistic missiles at Israeli cities. Though most were intercepted, the damage, both physical and political, was immense. By June 2025, the world stood on the brink. Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a massive air assault on Iranian nuclear sites and command centers. Iran retaliated with an overwhelming barrage of missiles and drones. Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and Haifa came under attack. The US offered defensive support, but stopped short of full involvement. Global powers called for calm, but the Middle East had already crossed a line. For decades, Iran and Israel fought a war in the shadows, through agents, militias, and secret missions. But now, that shadow war has caught fire. What began as a secret alliance in 1948 has evolved into one of the most dangerous rivalries of our time. The question is, how far will it go? Has the fuse already been lit for a regional war that could change the balance of the entire world? Before you go, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, because what's coming next in this unfolding story might just reshape history as we know it.